And welcome back to the third episode of Sports Avenue, where Steve and I discuss hot topics in the world of sports. This past week, we found out who will be playing in the Super Bowl this year. And to say the least, we both missed by a long shot.
Long shot.
It will be the LA Rams facing the New England Patriots, and will be a great game in Atlanta. Both championship games were great, though, but it did not come without any controversy. Officiating has been a big problem within the NFL this year, and it came to the forefront after last week.
Absolutely. That was, oh, man. Oh. Did you see all the memes and everything? Oh, man. Okay, we're on Facebook. Go ahead and look for us on there. We post articles throughout the week, keeping up between shows.
You also do Dog Pound Daily articles.
Yeah. This week I started a new job, so I didn't write this week, but I got a couple ready to come out. We are on Twitter. Follow us at SportsAv_. On Facebook, you find us Sports Avenue with Jim and Steve. Instagram, sports_avenue440. And our Gmail, sportsav440@gmail.com.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Well, with the problems with officiating this year, I think as Browns fan, we understand the struggles of what officials have done to our team.
Yeah. I mean, when you sit there and you go through and you think about all the stuff that happened and the season that the Browns had and how different it could have been due to officiating, it's scary. And then because we go through the numbers later on, when we talk about Hugh Jackson, don't go anywhere if you want to hear two dudes just rant about Hugh and how he's just a huge piece of garbage.
Greatest coach of all time. Who's Paul Brown?
Paul Brown who?
Bill Belichick? I've never heard of that guy.
Bill Belichick. What a bum. But, I mean, if you watch the Browns games this year, the ref was fired because of how poorly he did his job. Because of that the no flag on the one tackle kicking out.
You can go to multiple teams. I think it was one of the games, the Steelers, they were complaining about the referees, and I thought it was really funny because everyone was talking about how the Browns are the only team that are complaining about refs.
Yep.
And then this year, it's like every team has at least one game where they're thinking the refs made a bad call. Yep. And it was completely oblivious to the situation. So
yeah, it was great. I mean, never mind the fact that one time that Mike Tomlin tripped that dude running down the sideline. Let's throw that one out the window. Talking about integrity.
Yeah.
So I guess there was this, because I didn't watch the game, but I sure saw these memes and they were hysterical.
Oh, it was.
And then I got to watch the play afterwards, and I don't know how you don't call that.
Terrell Owens on Undisputed said he saw a video where the guy was about to throw a flag, and then the ref came over. He's like,
no. The Rams are going to the Super Bowl.
We
want
the Rams.
That's what he said. I mean,
I don't know. I didn't see the video.
Come on. He also said that if a team called him, he'd go back and he'd play.
He could probably.
Maybe, but then whatever. We're not doing that. We're not doing TO.
Yeah, but anyways, now. Two games, obvious situations where you have big problems. I mean, how does a corner literally lay out a wide receiver?
I mean, the dude robbed him. He took his lunch money. The guy went home broken, concussed.
Next thing you know, he's running an easy wheel route. Then Breeze is all like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl." Next thing you know,
we're going deep.
All you see is
Nicole Roby or whatever.
Nicole Roby Coleman just come and say, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
No, you're not catching this ball. Didn't even come near him.
And he said after the game, "Oh, that was a PI. That was pass interference." Yeah. Well, guess what? We got the NFC pennant. Too bad.
He's like, I mugged that dude. Took his wallet. Still got it. I mean, come on. Man, you got to throw laundry. You got to throw it.
I don't care what you do. You better do something.
You got to throw that. The yellow's got to hit the grass.
You better do something, because if you're not doing anything, you're completely robbing a team from that could have been in the Super Bowl. And in that game, it was a minute 49 left, and the Saints were in the red zone, so they could have drilled out the clock, and they're the one. Yep.
I mean, what else you want to say? I mean, people. Oh, we should change the rules. No, do not do that. And they didn't comment on the missed penalty. The NFL has not said anything.
Yeah, they just
Roger Goodell. People who sit there, he's a great commissioner. You are half-wits. Your parents are related. Never ever speak to me. Roger Goodell, he's a great kid. No, shut your mouth.
He's not.
Roger Goodell has single-handedly ruined a fantastic sport.
Yeah, every year I just feel like there's just more problems that.
Oh, there's more rule changes every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year. And to say the man makes $40 million a year, and really, what does he actually do? He comes out and he calls what? Every team for the first round in the draft,
and gets booed.
And gets booed every time he steps onto the stage. I mean,
I don't think you're liked.
Yeah.
But
when you sit there and you go ahead and we're going to take a vote on roughing the pass, or if you guys blow wind in his direction.
If you sneeze in that direction, he could get the germs and get sick, and he might.
He doesn't have hand sanitizer readily available on the field. And they didn't comment on the missed penalty. They haven't said anything, but they fined Mikel Roby.
Yeah,
he's way after the fact.
Yeah, $30,000.
Oh, $30,000! God, I think he wipes his butt with that.
Yeah,
he's like, nah.
My man
digs deep.
He's probably laughing. The Rams are probably, we'll pay you for this.
Yeah,
don't worry, we're going to the Super Bowl. Not any problem. No problem, kid.
Sean McVay's like, I got you, fam.
Man. Oh man, it's too bad. $30,000.
Oh, does that bum you out? In my opinion, though, if you don't throw the flag, how are you going to go back and find him?
Yeah, because you're saying it's not a penalty.
You see everything in real time.
Yeah.
The replay was on the screen in the stadium. You know it is, because you can hear the fans in the stadium going, "You're blind."
And maybe some colorful words.
Your mother made a mistake having you,
Couple, yeah.
Yeah, and then, there's plenty of colorful language, which is my preferred language.
Yeah.
But, this is a family show.
Well, you're in New Orleans, Bourbon Street's just behind,
Whoa.
A little bit. You might have had a couple intoxicated people.
Hey, listen here. I was at Baker's first win.
Yeah.
All right. I was at Mayfield's first victory with Sarah.
Yeah.
All right, we did. There was Bourbon Street. Who cares?
Yeah.
There were plenty of drunk fans walking around screaming. Bourbon Street. I'll show you Bourbon Street. Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Yeah.
First Energy, baby.
But if you're going to find somebody after the fact, I just feel like you're just insulting the sport.
Yeah, I mean that's a kick in the nuts to the fan base. Like, you're going to sit there. You didn't throw the flag that would have changed the entire game. That arguably they would have won.
Yeah, more than likely they had the lead.
And you're like, you know what? Here's, we want $30,000. Just go ahead and write us a check. You're not gonna miss a car payment or nothing. You're good to go.
Yeah, keep that Rolls Royce. Have fun with it. I don't know. I don't get your point if you're gonna find a guy. I mean, make the right call.
Yeah. What's your it was a helmet-to-helmet contact. Yeah. No, who cares?
Well, that's a flag.
At that point, that's a flag.
So why don't you throw? Why don't you
That's a personal foul targeting.
Yeah, it was actually kind of
people get kicked out of the game for that, and you didn't even throw the damn flag.
Even if you don't even say the pass interference call.
Yeah.
Helmet the helmet.
No, the ball was there.
I mean,
no, it wasn't.
I mean, you got to see the collision. I mean,
oh man,
the guy was standing straight up, and then you see Tommy Lee Lewis just flying.
You know what kills me is last year Jabril Peppers. He was making big hits downfield after receivers are catching balls, and they have the ball,
and they're not.
And he's getting flagged for helmet-to-helmet contact. And this dude didn't even come within the ball was off to the side of him, he got drilled.
when you see the ball in slow motion, it's like 5 yards away when he starts hitting him,
and the dude just gets straight mugged.
Yeah.
You know what? If this would have happened outside or off the field, it would have been illegal. The guy would have been arrested.
Yeah. Felony.
He's in jail.
Yeah.
You're not playing Super Bowl. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's 6 refs in one game, right? 6 refs, and there's 2, 3 in a position that could probably make that call. Whatever.
Granted, it's downfield, so you imagine that there's one downfield. There's one running or attempting to run with them.
But even then, you still have that guy running. He has no possession of the ball. That dude was not even looking in the general direction of the ball.
Yeah, realistically.
And you're saying there's no flag whatsoever?
If you're running down the sideline with these guys, and you see this dude just come up and just suck his soul from his body.
But you're looking at the
and then the ball drops.
That guy never even came close to touching the ball. He literally looked back.
He didn't play the ball at all.
He was.
He was headhunting, and
there-
it was good.
Yeah.
I miss that part of football, man. I miss seeing that. This dude's getting crunched.
You know, you can't
Enjoy your wheelchair, pal. What upsets me is how can one group of refs not throw a flag on a clear penalty with helmet to helmet contact, but then
that's two flags.
That's two separate flags.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yes.
gotta have the distance to the goal line,
Yep.
and whatever, and yes,
and a targeting call. You could realistically have him thrown out of the game for targeting, and then but a different set of refs. They don't throw, or they throw a flag for roughing the passer on Tom Brady.
Where literally he gets
What,
slapped,
he gets
slapped on the shoulder. Yeah,
I slap you. I
slapped you.
slap you. And how's that a flag?
and it's not even like he got
Baker this year was getting rocked, sliding.
Oh, you remember the Buccaneers?
Yeah,
game
I
where
do.
he- 20 yards down the field, goes for the slide like
And then gets just
helmet to helmet.
gets murked. No flag.
No, and then he goes looking at the guy. You want some? Come on!
He hops up and he's into it. He's like, oh. I thought for sure it was going to be another, running down the sideline, grabbing the meat.
I mean, but the NFL's got to look at this and saying either A, our refs are really bad.
Yeah, we need to work on. We need to have a training system instead of just reading rules that apparently they're not going to follow anyway.
Well, they're so inconsistent, like roughing the passer.
They're so worried about protecting the quarterback that they're not protecting receivers.
Just the wide receivers on top of it. But actually, I take that back
Yeah,
because Tommy Lee Lewis, poor dude. But
he's laying in a hospital bed right now.
What if that's Odell Beckham? What if that's Julio Jones?
That's a penalty.
Yeah, but Tommy Lee Lewis just comes out of a wheel out and just says, you know what?
Tommy Lee who? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
He
that's
comes
Michael
out of
Thomas?
a wheel. Michael Thomas, that's a flag.
But again, is it?
Amari Cooper, that's a flag.
Yeah, because Jerry Jones.
Antonio Brown, flag.
Because Jerry Jones is gonna look at it and say,
Jerry Jones can say,
"Yeah,
let's see.
you're the refs. He's just gonna go up to Roger, get these guys out of here."
Roger.
But no, I don't get the roughing the passer flag.
Why is there such a wide margin of error between different crews of refs?
And the thing is, it's not even flags that the casual person will not see.
No,
And
there's more pass interference calls than anything, and sometimes they're not even there.
they're just
The dude crunched him.
he literally just it was like guy just ran across the field. He wanted to murder him.
Roby was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit him."
Yeah,
I hope he's not throwing the ball. I hope it's not even coming this way. But I'm going to suck his soul out of his body.
Granted, if the guy had the ball and he hit him, that's a great play.
Oh, it's still helmet to helmet, and that still would have been a flag.
Granted, if this was like the 1990s, no one would have flinched.
No,
It was a great play.
If that would have been Sean Taylor, the dude would have been dead.
You would saw his helmet flying to row G.
Oh, why is his head still in it?
Got a souvenir, Dad.
But people calling for plays to be reviewed and flags to be thrown after the review.
If you want that, it's not going to happen.
If you want that, people are just going to stop watching football.
No, I don't even think it's that. It's more or less that you're just going to have people say, let's challenge every play.
You're going to police the game after every single play, and that's just wrong. Because refs can't do their jobs the first time around.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, refs are criticized. I'm huge on them. I flat out admit it. I don't hide that. I don't like refs. Refs are stupid.
Yeah, you would think that they know what they're doing, getting paid a lot of money.
They're supposed to. That's why they're refs.
And you're
That's
thinking,
why these guys, every time you see...
they're the top 10% of the referees in a professional organization.
Yeah.
They better be doing their job, especially in a championship game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
You cannot mess that up. No way.
You mean to tell me Saints fans are gonna forgive these guys? They're gonna remember this entire crew, and if they ever have them again at another home game, you're looking at probably what Bottlegate. Yeah, I was at that game as a young pup.
Yeah,
you're looking at Bottlegate from the Browns.
Yeah, but
I mean,
if this was a regular season game, maybe no one flinches. But at the same time, this is the NFC Championship. Winner goes to the Super Bowl, and you mess up.
You let a guy commit a felony on TV. Two of them.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I really don't. And what I don't understand is why fans, because Saints fans are pissed, and the owner, I can't think of her name right now. I know she said the integrity of the NFL is being called into question because of this.
Can't blame them.
I mean, yeah, but I don't
know.
By saying that, you're not wrong.
No.
But if you're going to change rules so that every play is reviewable, you're ruining the game.
No,
Because then every flaw is going to be seen. It'll last a couple weeks.
the average play lasts about 7 seconds. Every time you see a challenge called on the field, how long does it take you? 2 commercial breaks?
At least.
I mean, seriously, you say, oh, the challenge is on the field. Then they talk for 2
Commercial
seconds.
break, yep.
Commercial break, then they come back. Oh, they're still looking. Okay, go back to commercial
Tony
break.
Romo, speaks knowledge, and then they their commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break.
We're
So
still trying to figure out if the guy,
Still, yeah. I mean, like, seriously, if you're gonna challenge every flag, or granted, if you no matter,
it's not even every flag, it's every potential flag.
yeah, then in that case, it's just in my
Like
opinion,
that play would have been reviewed again,
Yeah,
and after the fact, and they would, okay, yes, it was a penalty. Here's a flag. Here's another flag. First and whatever,
but to me,
wherever.
this is just gonna hold open the door to more people, or
Then,
more flags.
And
are
of
gonna-
all people, Shannon Sharp, he's not wrong. He's like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah, he was done.
He was like, no, this is dumb. He's like, why would you do this? He's like, all you're doing is opening the door for every single play a holding call being called, which happens every single play.
Yeah,
Every single play in the NFL.
There's a
holding.
flag. There's probably almost a penalty in almost every play in the NFL.
I promise you, there is.
Yeah.
There's at least one in every single play. And that's all you're doing.
Yeah, granted, it was an obvious call, but at the same time, no one's gonna want to.
Was it obvious?
No one's gonna.
I mean, it was obvious, but at the same time, I can't imagine an angle where this guy or where the ref doesn't see this,
Yeah,
unless he's not looking at the play,
yeah,
which that's his job.
I mean, unless he's tying his shoe and getting a bottle of water
Tying
or
his
something.
shoe.
I mean, I don't know.
Dude's talking to the water girls.
He's looking at Sean McVay. Hey man.
Hey, man.
I got you. I got you.
I got you, man. Rams are going.
But I don't.
Jared Goff's the goat.
Yeah, but you can't review flags. In my opinion, that has to stay because if you
Yeah.
change that rule's just gonna keep on getting changed
Well,
every year.
only game changing plays.
Every
Who's
place-
gonna determine what's game changing?
Every play can be game changing.
Exactly. Doesn't matter. Oh, last 2 minutes.
play's
Well,
an
then why?
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 Every play, there's an opportunity for a
Every
touchdown,
play.
a field goal, any time for
here's my
points.
hypothetical situation, James. Safety drops back deep. Kind of like exactly what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But he successfully defends a pass deep.
Yeah, the wide receiver has possession or
No, successfully defends. Okay? So he
pass to defense.
tips it away.
I got you.
But he had his hand on the receiver's hip. That's interference.
Yeah,
Technically,
interference or holding.
it's just never thrown.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a good defense. Every single week you see it every week because they have these reviews and you watch the reviews. You watch them every single week. All these guys get all jacked up and yeah, man, I did really good.
Yeah, and then they look back and
And you look back and he's got his hand wrapped around him and he's got his other hand in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to play it and he plays it and it's successful. That is pass interference.
yeah, but it's
That's
just
good.
unfortunate.
That would get changed.
But the thing is, these defensive players, they're looking at, they're just trying to do their job and they can't. They don't have the ability to.
I agree. But in that hypothetical
Oh,
situation,
right, yeah.
what is stopping teams from chucking it deep? In the last 2 minutes, you get the ball. You don't need to actually complete a pass. You don't need to do that. All you gotta do is chuck it deep and hope the DB touches you in any way.
At least the ball, I keep the ball close because if it's not catchable, then they don't. Throw it.
But
But you know the point. But again, you gotta be able to. I think the pass interference call you can't be too strict on because you're gonna have contact. These corners can't just play loose, because then you have guys like Tom Brady, Breeze. They find the open hole, and guess what? That ball's gonna get caught every time, or more than likely than not.
yeah, and then you start playing deep like that, or you start playing loose.
You play prevent defense every play. Then what's the point of having the defense?
And you throw a ball mid middle
field, yeah.
kind of distance, and then you got receivers that are going to get schwacked by safeties coming up, and then you're going to throw flags for helmet to helmet or defenseless receiver, and then you're going to see injuries, which I thought that's what the NFL wanted to prevent is all these injuries from these guys.
But even then,
all you're going to do,
you're not getting concussions.
You're going to get fourth
getting
and fifth string receivers playing 1 and 2 spots because Michael Thomas needs 2 brand new knees and a new hip.
Yeah.
And he ruptured his shoulder because he took 1 hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Jabril stepped up and just shattered his spine. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that that's going to happen. You're encouraging certain things.
Yeah, you're telling. I mean, look at like.
How are you going to tell me you're going to talk about getting rid of special teams altogether because that's what's happening? That's what's going to happen.
That's already you don't.
It's going to happen.
There's no such thing as an elite return guy anymore.
No, there is.
Josh Cribbs and Devin Hester were the last two.
Yep, Devin. Oh gosh, dang.
Those are the only.
Love 'em.
There was the only few guys that they could have been the guys that could have made special teams more prevalent. And
Yes.
More.
But then, because they look at it and all the concussions Cribbs had. All the concussions he's had, Hester had them. I mean, how many other guys just literally get wrecked? And that's part of the sport. People
You can't
paid to watch half of those.
again
Back when Cribbs was relevant, that's why people went to the games.
Yeah, because you were
You were like,
gonna see,
well, maybe he's gonna score.
you were gonna see one good hit every game.
Yeah, it's not even like he was fast. He just
Yeah.
had really good vision.
Yeah, when you go to those games, you see like a hit that's not even like that good. You're everyone saying, "Ooh," and I'm looking at it like, I've seen hits that where these guys like you look like they're just bending in half.
Yeah,
And yeah, they
those
lower.
are my favorite.
But then you see the linebacker just lowers his shoulder and the guy just falls.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's not even hits that you used to see.
No, it's not even close. And all you're doing, I mean, by getting rid of special teams, it makes the game safer. So then kickoffs aren't even kickoffs, don't even line up. Just here you go, balls to the 25.
Then I remember hearing this argument. Then what about those guys that your third and fourth string guys that don't have the opportunity to play because they have star players in front of them? They're never going to get an opportunity.
No, you have to cut the roster. You cut the roster even more, or
Yeah.
you make the league bigger.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do?
At that point, the Arena Football League or maybe XFL will come back and things will change. I mean, realistically, what are you going to do? You have all this because there's not like the third and fourth string guys. The guys that don't play are still really good at this game.
Yeah, I mean, you also have
There is a ton of talent
yeah,
that is untapped
You
that doesn't get seen.
and this is their only way.
And this is their only way to stay on the team because they're good special teams guys.
That's how Wes Welker got. He went to
Yep.
Miami. He was a great return guy. Then
Yep.
then New England's like, hey,
Brady got a hold of him. They're like, hey, man, we're going to throw you in slot, and you're going to run across the middle and get wrecked every game, but you're going to catch a lot of balls.
you're gonna win. You're gonna win some Super Bowls.
You're going to win some Super Bowls. Do you like rings? You like diamonds?
That's their, yeah.
Cool. Here you go.
Look at Julian Edelman. In
Oh,
overtime
man.
alone, did you see every time he was coming across the middle, he was getting whacked.
What?
But guess what? He got up. He still kept playing.
He was like,
you didn't
"All
hear him
right."
complain and look for flags. He
No.
was playing.
He's like, Tom, get me a ring. Throw me a ring, buddy.
Yeah, he's like, I want to win, and that's why I think New England's really good because those guys don't care about the flags; they want to win.
Yeah, how are you going to sit there and who's their best receiver right now? It's Edelman.
Edelman, yeah,
And Gronk had he finally showed what he could be.
he almost costed the Chiefs not the Chiefs. He almost gave the Chiefs the Super Bowl
Yeah.
until D Ford forgot where the line of scrimmage was.
See, I didn't see that play. I heard
Oh,
he
he was like,
was
yeah.
he really offsides? But I also heard that the refs are supposed to come up and be like, hey man, you're like super offsides. There was always that warning.
Oh, again, the refs.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Back to this.
yeah.
I guess I see this as if you're gonna go, there's consequences for actions.
Yeah, and alternatives.
You get rid of special teams, you're gonna lose. You lose coaching staff too. A lot of people are out of jobs.
You're losing guys.
Excitement's gone from the game.
Well, you're also losing those guys that like the feel good stories when you see like guys like Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, and you see them like they come from like nothing, like Tom Brady. Those guys they come literally from a small school or they weren't.
Brady came from Michigan.
But he was drafted in 6th round. I'm saying those guys that weren't sought after. You know, they come up and then they're really good. Those feel good stories. You're not going to see that anymore. You're not going to see guys get that opportunity.
Yeah, you're not gonna see like you know what you look at it like
Special teams is
Joe Schobert.
Yeah.
Joe Schobert was a special teams guy. That preseason, who I think it was Kirksey got hurt again. Tank Carter was starting. Tank Carter got concussion, and Joe Schobert was able to step up and he crushed it. And he led the league in tackles that year.
Yeah,
Or he was second or something.
Yeah, a lot of those like all those guys that like Matthew Slater on the New England. He's been in the Pro Bowl because he's a special team specialist.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have punters and kickers, and that's it. And punters and kickers are getting more sought after because you need them now.
Yeah.
But
you won't.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're only gonna need them to kick field goals.
and not even. I mean, that's it. I don't know.
And they're gonna want to get paid more because now you're losing a lot of talented kickers that are getting older.
Yep. Yeah, Vinatieri, he just signed another 1 year, didn't he?
Dude
was
looks
it him? Dude looks like Father Time.
Yeah.
He's sitting there
24th year.
just dusty gray, man.
Yeah, he's almost played as long as you've been alive.
Yeah, that's right.
24 years.
Oh, man. I'll stop
You're
pooping my diaper when he started.
I mean, he's almost played a quarter of a century as a kicker. I mean, that's insane. No matter
he's a kicker, but
no matter what position you play, that's insane. Because you have to think like you have to take care of your body for that long.
yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. I mean, so if they go ahead and they get rid of special teams, my stats that I did up, because the average is about 45 yards a punt from the teams that punt the most.
Yeah, 45 yards.
So instead of kickoff, just you coin flip. All right, yeah, we'll take it. Okay,
Yeah, you go to 25.
25.
Yeah, that's what it. That's what it is.
You drive 75 yards, or you don't, and then you punt the ball, and then where you don't punt, you just we're going to punt. It's like friggin' youth football all over again.
Yeah, you can't return it. It's wherever the ball. Yeah, just
there you go.
leave.
45 yards.
That's what it is. You see guys. Now you see. I don't know about you, but I've been watching a lot of those games. You see guys fair catching the ball at the 10-yard line. I remember playing. You were taking the ball at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, you're taking it at the 10.
Because why would you want to be?
Especially when you have some room, man.
You want to drive 90 yards? I don't care. I mean,
no offense wants to drive 90 yards.
Your
You gotta
backs are
try.
right against the wall.
You got to try.
Yeah, but now they don't do that.
No,
And I'm looking at it like
because they don't
what?
want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to get hit. They're just a bunch of girls, man. It's sad.
Well, I think they want. I feel like a lot of these players want to. It's just they can't because they know
they know they'll be out of a job if they don't do anything.
Because the NFL's like, oh, you're threatening what we want to do.
Yep.
So then, I mean, think about it. A lot of good players have been kicked out of the league, or their talent is not as good as they can be because they can't hit a guy like DJ Swearinger, the guy Deshaun Golston, I think was a safety on the 49ers, if that's his name. I mean, these guys were hard hitting safeties. What are they now? You don't hear their names because
Jabril found his niche this year, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much playing as a 4th or 5th linebacker.
And he could be much better if, say, he was in the 1990s or early 2000s.
Yes. We talked about him earlier. Sean Taylor would not be able to play in this league.
He would be a cover corner. Or
he'd be a cover corner.
Because he couldn't lay out a guy.
Nope. Oh, no. That's a great way to get thrown out of the game.
Yeah, he was known for murdering people.
Oh, God. I loved watching him play.
He was basically a linebacker.
He was huge. What was he, 6'3"?
6'2", 6'3". He was a linebacker, wide receiver, and a safety combined into one player.
He was great.
I mean, it was insane watching guys like those play, and you can't see that anymore.
Can't.
The potential on defense has got limited so much that you're thinking like guys like Ray Lewis, all those guys. What are they if you take the hitting capacity away? Those guys were animals. Those guys were there to basically destroy the offense.
Yeah.
There was no.
Yeah, I mean, like...
It was no, just wrap up. It was, you're putting your shoulder through their body and into the ground. They're going 6 feet under.
I mean, like, when you're taught to tackle, you're taught to drive through.
You can't.
You can't do that anymore. You gotta pretty much tap them and hope they go down. Or you do what Denzel Ward was trying to do.
Try to lower the shoulder on Vance McDonald.
There you go. Yeah, lower the boom on a dude that's just a brick wall.
Double the size of you almost.
Guy's a brick wall with feet. I mean, he was crushing people. Yeah, and then you watch Denzel try and tap him out, and then Jabril has to come up and lay the boom.
But the first play when I saw Denzel Ward lay out the New York Giants guy in preseason, you're sitting there like, remember that? It was like comeback route or something, a curl route. It was on the sideline, and Denzel Ward just comes up and lays him out. Then he like just flexed. He was thinking he was all that, and he got flagged. I'm sitting there like every hard hit I see during a game now, I'm thinking, that's a flag. Then it's 15 yards.
And it's like, Denzel's a tiny dude. He's not going to be able to lay out many people.
No, he fits the league though, as in smaller guys.
Yeah. They want smaller, more
agile, they want athletes.
Athletic corner.
You want athletes now. The league's turning more towards athletes.
Yeah. Yeah. This next topic.
Oh, it's gonna be a great one.
It's So if you guys didn't hear recently, the Cleveland Browns and Hugh actually had a bad breakup. Believe it or not.
Oh.
And it is magical. So, and I quote, "Get the F out of my office."
Is what he told.
This is what Hugh told
John Dorsey and
Jimmy Haslam when they fired him. They walk in together, as men. They're like, "Hey, Hugh, you're a piece of garbage.
You can't coach.
Why don't you go ahead and clean your desk out, you piece of shit."
We heard Marvin would take you in for a couple weeks.
Yeah, Marvin said he called us already.
We'll offer a 7th round pick for you.
we took that. We took that call for you. We did you a solid, because you gave us 2.5 years of absolute disappointment.
Disappointment is probably an understatement. A lot of agony.
Hugh Jackson, a man of many talents, but coaching the Browns, he just wasn't one of those. It just was not. There was not a talent.
He was in that long list of disappointments. Oh, when he said, "Get the F out of my office," I think Dorsey should have said, "This ain't your office anymore, bub."
Yeah. Sorry there, bub. This office is for head coaches.
Good interims as well.
You're not even a coach. And interims as well. Hey, Greg, come on, bring your stuff.
Sorry, Hugh.
Sorry, Hugh. Hey,
Sorry, Hugh. Sorry.
You gonna take this paperweight? I don't care, man. That's Hugh's. When they first hired Hugh,
I didn't know what to think, to be honest. I'm thinking
I was okay with it. When Joe Thomas came out and said, "Yeah, we like Hugh. We're good with them." We all bought in. We're gonna do stuff.
Like,
we're gonna make it happen. I'm like,
yeah.
all right, Joe Thomas said they're gonna make it happen. I'm about it. And then
first
they didn't.
Yeah, 1-15. Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, 1-15.
Okay, maybe next year.
Okay,
it's
maybe next
a
year.
rebuild.
We'll call it a rebuild.
Yeah.
And then
next year.
0-16.
Then yeah. So let's just say there was a lot of anger built up. At least in me.
Yeah, you. About halfway through last year, you were the 2017 season. It was. I think it was hatred. It was sheer hatred.
And when I looked at when you look at YouTube or comments saying we should keep Hugh, he's a good guy. I'm sitting there
your parents probably should have chose to put you up for adoption.
I'm just not. It's not even that. It's just looking at I don't care if you're a nice person. Look at Bill Belichick. He does not look.
Bill Belichick.
He doesn't look like he's the nicest man in the world. But guess what?
Bill Belichick looks like a dude who's gonna yell at you. Get off my lawn.
But guess what? You're going to the Super Bowl almost every year.
This is third straight.
Third straight, and what?
I think it's fourth in the fourth in the last 5 years.
They're about to go to their 9th Super Bowl.
Yeah. Tom Brady has appeared in 1/5 of the Super Bowls in the modern era.
I don't care if you're
1/5. Are you kidding me?
I don't care if you're I don't care if you're the nicest guy. If you can't do your job, you should not be there. That's
agree.
what the final line. That's the line.
Yeah. Hey, Hugh.
You can be the nicest guy in the world, but
guess what? You couldn't get a team to win.
And that's the
end game.
The player, and I think that's why the players rallied behind Greg Williams. They wanted to kick. They wanted to beat their ass. They wanted to win.
Yeah, I mean, you come in your first year, you go 4-12. Okay.
You saw improvement.
We get it.
I was
second year, you go 6-10.
This year, I was thinking, be competitive.
7-8.
I was
7-9.
Be competitive. But at the same time, as each game progressed, you saw the game management by Hugh Jackson was garbage, and it was like that for the last 2.5 years.
His game management was
you would think 1-15. Okay, he's
gonna learn.
You would think he's gonna get better.
There's only up.
You can't get any worse, and he proved.
And he got worse exponentially.
Granted, the talent wasn't there. There wasn't that much talent.
Doesn't matter.
Again,
the guys bought in.
You gotta buy in, but they obviously didn't.
They clearly didn't.
His first one in 2 years against the Chargers, and guess what? They almost got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They got better, I would say.
Yeah, they improved, Hugh.
You're sitting here. Wait until next year.
Yeah, well, you know what? He never took responsibility.
And every week, I just kept getting more annoyed.
Offensive guru, the quarterback whisperer. What?
Okay, I mean, again.
What does that get you? How many playoff wins does Andy Dalton have?
0, 1, maybe 1.
Maybe 1. Marvin Lewis. Hey, he was a nice guy. Guess where he is right now? Unemployed finally.
He was a great D coordinator, but again, it's the same concept that we talked. I think last week or the week prior. There are good coordinators that are just not meant to be head coaches.
Yes.
Marvin Lewis was one of them.
And that might be Greg Williams too.
Yeah, probably. Greg Williams could have just been a flash in the pan, but we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
You know, he had that bad stint in Buffalo, but again, Buffalo's just not good.
Not Buffalo. Yeah.
Maybe they improve. But Buffalo, they probably have less talent than the Browns do, but they still managed to go 4-12, 5-11, 6-10, 7-9. Like they had Tyrod Taylor, they went 7-9, 8-8. They still made the wild card.
Yep.
You would think, like when you look at Buffalo, you would think like nothing. You don't know what to think of them because you don't know, but they still somehow squeeze in.
They compete.
They beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and they compete against the teams that they struggle against.
And they develop players.
Buffalo doesn't even do that.
They
right now they could be in the if Josh Allen works, maybe.
I think Josh Allen's overrated.
He can run the ball.
Yes, well,
But again, I don't know.
So can Lamar Jackson. Guess what he's going to be next year?
Crippled.
But very, very crippled.
If the Browns were going like 7-9, 8-8 for maybe like if the Browns went like 5-11, not this year, last year.
You talking about 2017?
Yeah, I'm okay with that because you're at least improving.
I'm okay with improvement, but then you come out and you go 2-5-1.
Then I'm thinking.
I'm like, all right, you're out. Get out.
I said this. If you're keeping Hugh Jackson, you give him 4 games. He either can be if he wins, or he loses. If he goes 2-2, you keep him. If he goes 1-3, 0-4, get rid of him.
You went what was it? Yeah, what I said, 2-5-1.
And 8 games was too long. It sabotaged your season.
It did. Because
literally,
you look at it and
5-3. If you're going to the Browns.
If you have a kicker, if what's his face? Who was he? I don't even remember.
Zane Gonzalez.
Zane. You know what? It was last year he kicked pretty well.
He was
that's why this year was shocking.
I never had a problem until
think if he actually kicks straight.
If
he was still the coach.
If he knew where the goalposts were.
If he knew to kick between them and not around them, he was still the coach. He's still the coach right now.
The Browns, because the Browns would have been.
The Browns would have had a winning record going into that middle of the year.
Yeah, they would have been competing for.
Going into week 9, they would have been like 5-3. What did we say it was? The Browns, they would have won week 1.
They should have won week 1.
They should.
The Steelers.
They should have.
Steelers on their worst day tied with the Browns, arguably on their best day.
Yeah, and they should have won week 1. They should have beat the Raiders. They should have beat the Bucks, and they should have beat the Saints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Saints. Yeah.
Yes.
The Saints
you would have gone into week 9 5-3.
Granted, the Saints had a slow start, but still beating the Saints.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if they're the best team or the worst team at that point. You beat them.
Yeah, I mean, and then you go in, you fire Hugh, you fire Todd Haley. If you have a kicker, the Browns end up an 11-win team.
If everything worked out from the start of the year, how it could have been, they're an 11-win team. And
obviously, it's a whole lot of what ifs, but jeez, man, there were so many what ifs. But
still, you're the 4th seed.
Oh, but yeah.
Or the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were because the Texans were 3rd seed.
Yeah, you're going to the playoffs, and.
I don't care how you look at it.
No, I don't care. As a diehard Browns fan, I'm sitting here like, let's go. Like, let's do this.
If they made the playoffs after the 2 years that Hugh Jackson had, I don't care if they get wiped. I don't care if
absolutely not. After you go, I don't care.
You made the playoffs because that's just telling me
1-15, 0-16, the playoffs. Yeah, I'm good with that.
0-16, then. I mean, they almost hit. They were close in the wild card until the end. They weren't. Yeah. They were down but not out.
You're talking about a 180 turnound, and a lot of that
360.
Well, you can't be 360 because then you end up back at 0, kid.
359.
You suck.
359.
You turn around all that way, and then you realize
it was all for 9 in a way.
It was. If you would have had better coaching initially, the second half of the year flat out shows how bad Hugh was.
Yeah, and still, I don't know how people can defend how he was just it was a good coach. He was a terrible.
He was the worst coach the Browns have ever had.
And it's not even close.
It's not. He was arguably the worst coach in NFL
Mike Penn
history.
got 7 wins out of a Browns
Mike
team.
Pettin.
Who?
Mike Pettin.
Like
yeah,
even the worst, like
He did.
even the bad coaches when they had like
Mangini
they could at least
was better.
They could at least scrub out 4 wins.
Butch Davis. Actually, I like Butch Davis. People mocked him because he liked drafting his Miami guys, but
They work.
They were. They guess what?
Most of them work.
Won games.
It's just you can't defend Hugh Jackson. There's nothing you can use. He was a nice guy. I don't care.
He was a nice guy. I can be a nice guy.
But if you can coach, great.
Great. Awesome.
But to me,
you couldn't coach you. Couldn't coach.
To me-
I'm a nice guy. I want to be a head coach. Hey, Hugh, why don't you go ahead and clear that desk out? Can I have that paperweight?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be good at your job. And clearly he was never.
And then you take into account that his coaching was so bad. And then week 3, when Tyrod goes down because he's hurt,
And he was really bad that game.
and he was worse.
He was making the Jets look like they were Super Bowl contenders.
And Baker goes in.
A literal 180 turnaround. They wiped the floor with the Jets after
They
that.
straight smoked them.
It was like,
And Baker, he just... How do you have that big of talent that the
well, think about it. You think that they go 0-1-1. The next thing you know, they're getting almost blown out by the Jets in the second
at
quarter.
that point, they were getting smoked.
And next thing you know, they're looking like a team you never seen before. You're looking like, what?
Baker comes in and he makes throws that Tyrod didn't even look at. He's fitting in the tight windows. Guys are catching. They're like, whoa, the ball's here. Why?
Yeah,
I'm downfield.
Well, the thing, no, like they're looking at him. Baker's throwing like
Just
ropes to these guys, and they don't know. They're like, I've never seen the ball from this far.
This dude's sending tomahawks into these guys' hands.
He's like,
Just missiles, and they're catching them. And
Well,
I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my
at the
God,
start-
Higgins has hands.
At the-
He
at the
grew
start-
hands. His nubs fell off.
well, I was looking at Landry when they first came. He's looking like I've never seen a guy. Well, his quarterback was Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like, I forget Miami's in the league sometimes.
yeah.
It's still another team. You never hear a word out of them, but still they go 6-10, 7-9. I'm sitting there like, how?
How?
You don't know who the coach is. You probably can name like 2 players at the most on that team.
Yeah,
And they still, how did they get 7-9? How?
yeah.
Like, you just don't understand. The Browns get more attention going 0-16. Literally, you would think no one would ever talk about them.
Nobody.
But then you see a team like Miami going 7-9, you're thinking like, but granted, they do that almost every year. You see like a lot of
Yeah,
those teams.
Miami's a middle of the road team every year, and they got nobodies.
And that's
They got nobodies. They got poor coaching. Adam Gase is a trash coach.
Now he's
And there you go.
another offensive guru guy.
Welcome to the Jets. And you know what? Man, Williams went to the Jets, and that sucks because I liked Williams. I think retaining him as head coach at least would have been ideal. But what are you gonna do?
I was thinking. The defense was coming together. All the starters were great.
I think what hurt him is when he took over as interim head coach, his son started calling plays.
And I don't even say he was bad.
It wasn't even that he was bad, but it just the defense didn't perform the way they needed
They
to.
just give up so many yards. Guys were getting hurt.
And it might have been play calling. At this point, I never really looked at it like that. I just saw that we were getting turnovers when it needed to happen.
But that's how
The defense, the team improved.
Yeah, even like at the beginning of the year, I was looking at this defense. I'm like, this is legit.
Yeah, that's what it started. It for me. I'm like, oh wow, preseason.
But I think what happened
First couple
though,
weeks, I'm like,
the problem is the offense was just they were not clicking at all. Then the defense had to go out there do a lot. Like, you're thinking they were getting 2 to 4 turnovers a game, and they had
the
to
first 3-4 weeks, the defense was just It was amazing.
They were still like top 3 in the league for turnovers at the end of the year. It
Yeah.
wasn't like they were like
No.
it was. Yeah, they were still consistent with turnovers throughout the year.
Yeah.
Granted, they slid off a little bit, but they
I
were
mean,
still.
Yeah, they ended up being a pretty, statistically, they're a pretty bad defense.
Oh yeah, you look at everything. Yeah,
Uh,
after turnovers, yikes.
That's really bad, actually. It's
You're saying like they're like the 29th worst defense in the NFL.
yeah,
That's
which I think if the defense goes from 29 to say 15, a middle of the road defense, you're in the playoffs.
look at the Chiefs. They didn't have that good of a
the
defense.
defense was awful.
Guess what, Patrick?
But yeah, but Mahomes dropped 50 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying.
And Kareem, before he kicked that chick, was.
But think about it though. In the NFL nowadays, you don't need a good defense.
Well, you need a defense
Chiefs
that can
could-
stop
the
guys
Chiefs-
sometimes.
The Chiefs almost beat the Patriots. If it wasn't for D Ford looking the other.
Who does Brady have to throw to other than Edelman? He's got nobody.
And
Sony Michelle is.
You could say Gronkowski, but he's just hurt.
Gronk. Yeah, Gronk's
When he's
one
healthy-
injury away from being forced to retire.
I'm just saying, when he's healthy, he's
When he's utilized and healthy.
but again, that they used him more to block. But because now you have 3-4 running backs you can run the ball with. Why wouldn't you? Because then you lessen the risk of him getting hurt.
I agree, but at the same time, calling Gronk just a game changer, he's not.
He was
He used to.
until he lost. Well,
He's
his
two
knees.
years. He's 2 years out from that.
Again,
His elbow.
well, now because you can't square him up.
No.
No safety.
No safety is going to be able to take him head on.
You know he's gonna.
and just own him.
Every route. Tom Brady's like, okay, just go deep. I'm just gonna hit you on a deep route.
Yeah, because he's 6'6" and he's got hops.
Are you gonna tell me?
You gonna tell me a 5'11" Denzel or a 5'10" Denzel Ward's gonna no Denzel Ward's gonna die. Denzel Ward's gonna need.
It's gonna be Randy Moss all over again. He's just gonna say, "Got the ball, walking into the end zone."
Yep.
I mean, even if you double cover him, you still got 2 safeties or a linebacker.
Yeah,
and Gronkowski, when he was healthy before he got hurt, was faster than a linebacker, and was taller than a corner. So what do you do then?
Yeah, I agree.
Then once you get him to double,
You got to line up like a Jabril. You got to line up a hard hitting safety on him.
then take him out.
And you got to rock him.
It's unfortunate because it's a player. You know.
Well, you got to hit him hard. You got to make sure.
Well, again, he's going to get hurt, which is unfortunate because he's a player. He's still a human being, but at the same time, you got to win the game somehow.
You got to win the game.
Because the Patriots are going to win, and especially
they're going to win this week.
Next week.
Same thing. Pro Bowl's a joke. Whatever the next, you know what I mean.
The Super Bowl.
It was same thing. But back to Hugh being a piece of garbage.
To the worst head coach.
3
the
weeks.
second worst head coach in NFL history.
3 weeks of practice. He watched Baker and Tyrod.
Well,
And the different levels of talent they
training
have.
camp.
I mean, I'm just talking regular season.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna sit there and tell me that Tyrod beat Baker out? You're a liar.
No, he didn't beat Baker out. There's no way.
There's no way.
I think it was more or less just preparing Baker. I mean, honestly,
Watching everything that happened this year. Watching how
how the offense was.
he came into that game in that situation down a lot.
What was it, like 17-0, 17-3?
It was like 17-3, I think.
So yeah, it's 2 touchdowns.
Down, and he comes in, and he's just slinging. The offense changes. I remember being in that stadium, and his picture comes on that screen, and everybody collectively just let a load in their pants, and it just erupted. It was amazing.
And I went to the game after when they faced the Ravens at home, and it was only 12-9, but you still saw the offense move the ball. I mean, I remember
Ravens' defense was like second best in the league.
They were great all year round.
The Ravens' defense is legit. I hate saying that.
Oh, it was a great.
Hate it.
It's a great defense.
It's great defense.
C.J. Mosley's top 5 middle linebacker in the league.
Terrell Suggs was still, turning the edge.
Their front seven's legit.
Eric Weddle can
and
hit
at that point, they
and play coverage.
They still didn't have Jimmy Smith, who was like their number 1 corner.
Yep.
So then they were still an elite defense behind the Bears, if anybody. And Baker, it was only 12 points, but again, they still beat. I mean, Ravens also had Joe Flacco.
You're gonna sit there and tell me Lamar Jackson's better than Joe Flacco as a quarterback in the quarterback position,
I mean,
playing the quarterback position. I call you a liar. Joe Flacco is garbage. Joe Flacco is a dumpster fire with like heroin, like used heroin addict needles. Joe Flacco I'd argue the most overrated quarterback ever.
oh,
Lamar Jackson isn't much of a quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a running back that can throw.
Flacco was never elite. I think he was just good, and he did what he was supposed to do.
Lamar Jackson will be the next Julian Edelman.
But Edelman was a wide receiver.
Edelman was a quarterback in college.
But he didn't say, I'm going to play quarterback, though.
No, but Lamar is... I promise.
But Edelman...
He can't do it. Lamar has the speed. He's got gross level speed. And his agility is his elusiveness is elite.
But the thing is, he's in a system where Harbaugh doesn't know how to run.
He's throwing the ball 15 times a game, and he's completing 6-7 of those. You're throwing 50%.
But the thing is, he only targets his tight ends. You ever watch a game?
Yeah, they have 4 of them. 2 of them got hurt.
They drafted 2 of them, and they're like their first 2 picks, their first like 3 picks outside. Well, the first 2 picks, besides Lamar Jackson, were 2 tight ends: Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina. Mark Andrews came from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think Hurst can be legit though.
Oh, Mark Andrews was too.
Yeah,
they're both great tight ends.
Yeah, you got great tight ends, but now you, I mean, if you're gonna roll out. You're gonna have to roll out every single play because.
But why are you gonna? I mean, when you have. Ravens had a solid receiving core on top of it. Crabtree, Brown.
Well, yeah, you and I have talked about this.
That's a solid receiving core.
Yeah, it is on paper. It's a solid receiving core. Michael, Crabtree. I think Crabtree's a free agent this year. He's old. He'll get signed, but he'll be a veteran somewhere. I don't think he's gonna necessarily start. John Brown's legit.
He's a great slot.
John Brown's a great slot receiver, but so is Snead. Snead's a slot receiver. Snead is not a number 2. He's not a number 1. So you got two slot receivers, 2 pretty solid, gonna be second year tight ends. Lamar Jackson's just overrated. Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's gonna last long.
That could be a flash in the pan.
I think if he's not, and for some reason he's got the strongest knees any human has ever had, and he stays healthy, he's a problem.
Oh yeah,
his accuracy is a huge problem.
Again,
if he brings his accuracy up to 55, just under 60%, there's gonna be a problem. He's a problem for teams.
Yeah, if he knows how to start utilizing more of his weapons around him.
Yep.
There's no doubt.
Yep.
If he just understands how to when to run and when not to run.
Yep.
Just to prevent himself from getting injured. When he runs, he definitely is aware of his surroundings. He definitely doesn't run just to try to get hit. Definitely knows how to get out of bounds. Knows how to slide. But again, it just takes one hit to end your career. Look at RG3. It took him.
It was that one hit. He had a great rookie season. As a rookie quarterback, I'd call it. I liked watching him play. I liked him as a person.
You had people saying he was better than Andrew Luck.
Yeah, and then his he turns into tinfoil.
Then he helped make Seattle look like a dynasty for a couple years.
Yeah.
He was the stepping stool for the Seattle. When you could have thought Washington could have been a team, but look at them now. They're mediocre.
Russell Wilson's a good quarterback. He'll be there forever because he either has a big deal or I thought they were talking.
Yeah, he'll stay there.
He's not going to go anywhere.
Well, I mean,
they have the best running attack in the league.
I thought Seattle,
the 1-2 punch.
They
run it the most.
The only reason why I think they lost to the Cowboys was because they ran the ball way too much. They didn't give Russell Wilson the ball.
Yeah.
They just kept running the ball, and Cowboys were like, okay, you can play your front 7 against our front 7. We're going to win every time. And guess what? They did.
They did, yeah.
And then you have Russell Wilson sitting there until 3rd down and 3rd and long, 3rd and 10.
Trying to whip it. And he's not a deep ball guy. He doesn't have the arm strength like that.
It's not even that. He doesn't have a guy to throw it. He's got Doug Baldwin.
Who's not a deep ball guy. He's a possession guy.
But again, that's it.
That's it. Oh, you got Lockett, who he had a lot of touchdowns, but
he's a speed guy.
He's a speed guy. Yeah. That's so. Well, man, we looked at stats earlier. What he had 40? Was he? What,
yeah, 50 catches, and 10 touchdowns.
50 catches, 10 touchdowns. So, you're going deep a lot. Great, cool.
I mean, I thought Seattle was going to go downhill. I was not expecting 9-7. I was expecting maybe a 7-9, 6-10.
Yeah.
Then they pulled a
Pete Carroll retires.
He got an extension. He got
He got an extension.
like a
Oh my
3-4
God! So did Harbaugh.
Yeah, I mean,
Talk about banking on Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, he saved his job.
Yes, he did.
Literally.
Yeah, because he was on his way out.
He was on the hot seat after
Oh.
after Flacco.
Yep. Yeah, he was on his way out, and Lamar comes in. He's like, "I got you, coach."
And
You got him.
And
Got him a 3-year extension.
Yeah, you got was it 7-1, 6-1?
Yeah.
So that was insane.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, then again, teams struggle to defend a quarterback like that. Historically, it's what happens.
Then the second time
Then
round,
the second time round, dude gets rocked.
I mean, I think it'd be no different even if you face New England. I mean, I think if they played, they almost beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I don't know how it would have happened in a playoff situation.
You're referring to
Because the Chiefs don't. If
Baltimore?
If they played the Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but you're going against. You have the second best defense in the league. You have a seasoned, talented defense.
Yeah.
With shutdown corners, and Mahomes can move, but he's not.
No, he's not mobile.
He's not Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm just saying because it's more. I think it more or less would have went to Ravens offense versus the Chiefs defense. If that was in a playoff situation, could they pull it off? I don't know.
You gotta spy him. And teams, for some reason, the Browns didn't want to commit to that. Week 17?
No,
If you would have spied him, he threw like garbage, but he ran all over you. All you got to do is spy him. You spy him.
Yeah,
you put your bill on him.
Literally.
And his knee is turned to dust.
Every play was the same one. They line the tight end on the right of Lamar. Then
Yeah, you knew
Edwards,
what was coming.
Gus Edwards in the back.
Yeah.
RPO, and it was not even RPO. It was an R. Run. He literally just took it to the outside of the tackle or inside of tackle, make a cut to the sideline. Yep. 5 yards, 5-6 yards every play.
Yep, he's out.
And then once you got the team to commit to him, then you give it to Gus Edwards. Then he got 7-8 yards a pop.
There you go.
So why you don't have to throw the ball if you're going to do that every time?
Yeah, just got to figure it out. Defense it'll change its ways.
Yeah,
the Browns didn't, and that was the problem that week. But I think I don't know. I think Hugh not being able to evaluate Baker.
Forgot to watch the tape.
I have to go back and watch the tape. Hugh, you're garbage. Hugh Jackson, I stand by the statement, is the largest skid mark of the Browns franchise.
Second worst head coach in the NFL history.
Second worst. You're trash.
Garbage.
Straight garbage. But that is it for this week. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
God bless you. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and the Gram.
Yeah, as always.
Thank you.